Well, we live in a very warlike world, conceptually. For example, what do we have? We have the war on drugs. We have the war on poverty. We have the war on terror, the war on cancer. That word war, which started in common use back in the 60s, is being used more and more. We have basically declared war on ourselves. I mean, let's think about it. If you have a person who is addicted to heroin, that is its own punishment. Let's face it. It is the most horrific punishment a person can ever imagine. Do you think it's going to help any for the government to punish that person further? It's insane. Also, the war on drugs has created a real war with the Sinaloa cartel, with the Zeta cartel, with all of the cartels in Central and South America. Did we want that war? I don't think so. That war has cost hundreds of thousands of lives. I mean, real war. Is that what we wanted? I don't think so. Why on earth, for example, should we put a person in prison for 15 years for smoking a joint? I think that's insane, and yet we do that in this country. Even though the laws are being liberalized in many states it's still a felony. So this is insane. We need to totally decriminalize drugs like marijuana and make things like heroin and other drugs a misdemeanor at most. Because you have to trust me on this. Drug addiction is its own punishment. And it's not going to be helped by declaring war on it.
Yeah, I completely agree. Have you had a chance to look at what happened in Mexico here? Me and Jonathan are here in Mexico right now, and they had a Supreme Court decision that is supposed to be a kind of a landmark case where they declared that it is unconstitutional to say that somebody cannot put a substance into their own body.
Well, yeah, because it is your body.
Right.
And bodies react differently to different substances. In some societies, marijuana is a medicine, and so is heroin. It's a painkiller for people who are leaving this life under excruciatingly painful conditions. I mean, who are we to say? It is your body.
Yeah.
We create government to tell us what to do with our bodies. We created government to serve us. When is the last time you felt your government was serving you? I ask you that question, and all the listeners as well. When was the last time you woke up and said, my government is serving me so well? No, they're not serving you. They are bossing you, telling you what to do, when to do it, what not to do. We did not create government for that purpose. We created government to secure our borders and to do those things within the infrastructure that we as small communities cannot do. Create highways, large schools, and so on. But we've lost that somehow. We've changed from a government of service to a government of power. In our country, the presidency is called the seat of power. Mm-hmm. That's insane. It didn't start out that way. It started out that way as service. Our first president, George Washington, had to be pushed, kicking and screaming, to accept the presidency. Nobody wanted it. It was a terrible job because you had to serve millions of people. Well, who wants to do that? But today, everybody wants it because, the seat of power. I will have power over everybody. Well, good God, do we want people thinking that way to be our president? I don't think so.